How sweet it is to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. I am hoping that this is the last episode where I have camera issues, because I ordered a new one and it should arrive by next week. So hopefully it looks good, but you don't care about that. This is your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax, and hopefully by now you've poured yourself just a little bit of,
more specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer,
as we cruise into the weekend. But of course, if you have a YouTube channel, a podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, or smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shits. We will be having a fun time today because we'll just be winging it. We'll just be winging it. So hopefully you enjoy the show. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. We of course had the Green Lantern trailer drop this week, so if I remember, we'll talk about that. Because you know how it goes. I freaking say at the top of the show, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, and then the show rolls on and we talk about A, B, and C. A, B, C, D. Sometimes E, a little bit of F, maybe a G. Who knows? But without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. It is me. I am the problem. It is me. See how the color is even different from one screen to the other? It's annoying. It is annoying. Is there something on my teeth? There was.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
Tastes good every time. Tastes good every time. There's my chat. I was like, where's my chat? Where is my browser? Where is the disc? But okay. Welcome back to another episode. Happy to have you guys here with me tonight, you guys and gals. We have, like I said, fun show. Did I just close out a thing? No. Okay. I like X'd out of something, but then I saw something pop up and I was like, wait, what just happened? So anyway, yeah, we'll have a fun show in store. Like I said, we'll just hang out. We'll look at some stuff on the gram. We'll talk about some things and go from there. But before I get to the chat, let me get the shameless plugs out the way. We, of course, have nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated. You can also find links to the latest episodes, whether it's the live show, latest Daily Planet unboxing, or the brand new 3D print series. You find links to all of that here on the website. Also, that's the wrong thing. It's not supposed to be on that playlist, but I'll fix it later. Also, if you do want to listen to the audio only version of this show, you can find, what's that thing called again? What was it back in the day? You used to have the media player, but there was like another word, right? There was like another word on your website. You can drop in a thing that could play a playlist of whatever it is you wanted on your MySpace page or on your GeoCities page. I'll have it there. So if you want to listen to the shows, you can always go there, or look for us on your favorite podcast platform. All that stuff. If you're into the Ghostbuster side of things, we have the realnerdbusters.com, where you'll find links to our Ghostbuster Day photos, Comic-Con videos, and of course the part list to all the things we have on our Proton packs, which I have to update it, of course. Crazy. Ghostbusters Day is already coming around the corner. It's March. What is it, in June? So April, May, June, 3 months away. That is wild. That is wild. But of course, if you want to contact us, hit us up over at Nerd Affiliated on Instagram, on Facebook. And then, of course, the Ghostbuster stuff is The Real Nerdbusters on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to hit us up respectively. I made a post the other day, and it's true. It's damn true. I apologize. I am behind. I'm behind on DMs. I'm behind on everything. So if you send me a message and it takes me a while to get back to you, do not take offense. We have too many pages. We have too many pages. And it's funny. There are people that, and if this is one of you, like maybe you're listening on the replay or something, like I said, I always encourage you to stop by the live show, but it's funny. There's people who listen, watch, or only interact on YouTube, Instagram, not really Facebook. We don't have a lot of interactions on Facebook. Same on Threads. I try to be more active on Threads lately, or I've tried to be. Not too much over there on Threads, but between Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, it's like 3 different groups. I sometimes see like the same names on certain things, and then they all don't cross over. So that had no relevance or point. I just was thinking out loud and said it. So I apologize. Let's get to the chat. Of course, Toady in the house. Good to see you. We got Ultra Carta in the house. Good to see you. We got Henry Resilient in the house. As always, good to see you. Dave's Dimension in the house. I like the stream on the way in. There you go. Appreciate that. If you guys can hit that thumbs up, would be greatly appreciated. Got the Man Collects in the house. Good to see you. Got Steve in the house. Good to see you. Just realized Monarch Season 2 is available. I will not be ashamed to say I could not get into that show. Could not get into Monarch. And it's funny because it's one of those shows that people have asked me about, like, oh, are you watching Monarch, or did you see Monarch? Or actually, correction, people have been like, oh, have you seen the Godzilla show? Like, do you watch the Godzilla show? And couldn't get into it. Could not get into it. Love the concept, especially of the, Kurt Russell and Wyatt playing the same character, different time periods, all for that. I think their press junket this past week was really good. The press tour they were on. Funny interviews, great chemistry. I mean, the father and son. But they've been doing great work, the two of them, especially promoting the show. But I can't get into it. And maybe I'll try again. I don't know. I've never been the biggest Godzilla fan. Maybe that's part of it. Nothing against Godzilla. It just doesn't. I feel like I did watch the cartoon, right? Like I used to watch Godzilla and Godzuki. The Matthew Broderick movie was like one of my intros into Godzilla as far as like it being more mainstream when I was younger. And then outside of that, like I just couldn't get into the movies. Like I'd watch them on the Sci-Fi Channel when they came on sometimes, just because I was like, oh, it's something different. But Godzilla never really did it for me. So that could be a reason as well. Everybody's saying hi to each other, like button. Gen X podcast in the house. Good to see you. Got Patrick in the house. Good to see you. Hopefully you finished green today. So, hey, if any of you want to talk stock market stuff, slide in the DMs, or if you have my number, you can text me. Usually I'm bothering Patrick and Anthony when it comes to that. And it's been a wild ride the last couple months. Anthony said he enjoyed Monarch Season 1. All right. And the thing is like, it's not like I turned the show on and was like, oh, this sucks. Like, that wasn't happening. I just lost interest as the show was going on. In fact, the same thing happened with Wonder Man. You guys remember a couple weeks ago, I talked about Wonder Man, how much I loved the first episode. Talked about it on Daily Planet, talked about it on this show. And as the show went on, I just kind of lost interest. And I skipped a couple episodes, which, you know, I notoriously do. Skipped a couple episodes to see just what happens at the end. And like, I just didn't care. Did not care. So I don't know. It's been me lately. I want to watch the Monarch series, but I can't since I don't have Apple TV Plus and don't plan on getting it just to watch it. That's fair. But they also have Silo's really good. We were watching Silo. And then, of course, we have oh my God, what's the one where they work for the Office company? Severance. So I mean, Apple TV, Amazon, and HBO. I gotta say, the last couple of years, it's been rare that I turn something on and I'm like, oh, it's all right. Like, it's not that great. If anything, at this point, you know, Apple TV is maybe behind because I didn't continue Monarch, but everything else I started on Apple TV, I kept going with. Amazon, I think everything I started, I kept going with. Last season of Reacher was interesting. I don't know. That season, I don't remember timeline-wise if the last season of Reacher crossed over with the strike or not. I don't think so. I think it was after the strike. But it seemed like they only had a short window to record that season, and a lot of things happened in like, it seemed like 4 locations with a couple of, you know, exceptions. I don't know. Henry with the stock market stuff. Yeah, I know Henry loves that too. He tells me to market stuff and I just nod along. My Tony brain can't grasp it. Tiny, not Tony. I guess both work. They do both work. They do. Cool beans. All right. Let's head over to discuss Green Lantern. Definitely want to cover that. And we got the trailer this week finally. We had the teaser before, but this was the first like full-length trailer for the series. And I had some thoughts. Obviously, a lot of you probably had thoughts. To me, this scene is the one major takeaway of the whole show. So in that, I was like, I might as well just cover this one slide because this is really the only part of the trailer I cared about. Going into the show, right? And it hasn't dropped yet, so I'm not bashing the show as a whole yet. We don't know. I'm actually curious to see what happens going forward because since the show started filming, we have the WB sale happening where Paramount is buying WB after Netflix almost purchased WB. So will this show even continue? Don't even know. Right? So we're in an interesting place. But when we got the teaser, when we got the discussions about it, we were getting kind of like that detective vibe, buddy cop, movie or TV show vibe. And when we got the trailer, that's exactly what it seems like. It seemed like another season of True Detective, which I can't really bash that because those were really good shows, the various seasons, with the exception being the Colin Farrell one. That was the only one that kind of sucked. I don't even think we finished it. We did not finish it, now that I think about it. But the other seasons were good. So when the trailer dropped, I was mainly looking to see, will we get some Power Ring action? And it seems like the show is going to be True Detective meets Reacher, right? Which in a way, kind of follows the A-Team format, the classic action TV format where, you know, rebel shows up to town, there's a bad guy in the town, takes out bad guy, continues on. You know, bad guy of the week type of thing. In this case, they're probably going to be stuck in that one town because it seems like they're trying to solve some sort of mystery that the Lantern Corps sent them to solve. But we didn't get a lot of ring action in the trailer, which I think was on purpose, which I don't mind. But I was curious about the powers, and I was curious about oh my God, what's his name? Now I'm forgetting his name. Who's playing Hal Jordan? I'm going to my messages. Was it Kyle? Yeah, Kyle Chandler? Maybe? I forget. Anyway, I was curious to see how he would play or look playing Hal Jordan, because he's an older guy. Hal Jordan, we all are pretty familiar from the various cartoon series, the movies. So we got a kind of a different take of Hal Jordan. And of course we have Jon Stewart. Seemed good. It seemed good. I don't know how many more seasons we get with him in general because he is older. But it seemed very much like they were going for Men in Black here. You know, except Jon Stewart, naturally so, is more rigid, more follow the rules. You know, he's a Marine. So I think it was a cool dynamic. But I just got to see the show. I think I'm at the point now where I'm like, all right, let's just get the show, see what we're getting. So far, James Gunn hasn't missed. So far, HBO hasn't missed. So we'll see. But we're going to get some powers going. And it seems like Jon Stewart doesn't have the ring most of the season. This is the vibe I got. And don't know how I feel about that. You know, I feel like classic tropes and superhero stuff, you know, a person doesn't have powers, end of the show, end of the season, they get their powers. I don't know if we really need that in Green Lantern. I feel like if he got chosen to be a Lantern, he should have the ring the entire time. Learning to use it, maybe it's like, you know, he's mad serious and he keeps messing up in a comedic way. I feel like that could work. But I hope they don't do a thing where they take the ring from him and he has to like earn the ring back. I don't want to see that. So we'll see. But like I said, this was the one part of where it really, you know, grabbed me. We see Hal Jordan in action. They don't reference Nathan Fillion, aka I'm forgetting now. Oh my God. My mind is shit today, huh? Guy Gardner. We don't get Guy Gardner in this. They don't seem to acknowledge Guy Gardner in this. They acknowledge the Squirrel Green Lantern in this. But you know, we'll see. It's all one universe. We'll see how it goes. But let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for the show? Did you like the trailer? Etc. Yeah, Guy Gardner. I'll give you guys a second to comment on that, but let me catch up on. Rob was saying, I really enjoyed Reacher 1 and 2. For some reason, I lost interest in 3. Want to finish it though. Yeah. And then there's also the spinoff with his partner coming out with the girl. Continue 3. It isn't a bad ending. The action's good towards the end. I feel like they were going, I think I said it in one of my group chats. I feel like Reacher is getting to a point where they need to really, like, this is as far as we go with how OP he is. And when he fights the dude in the show who's bigger than he is, I'm like, this should be as max as we go, or else we really start crossing into Fast and Furious type stuff, which I don't want to see. We'll see. Investing is the key to financial freedom, hopefully. Whether you're investing in yourself or an ETF or even a company. Yep. You must teach me, Henry, says Tony. Patrick said, it's 6.5 hours of stressful red and green watching. It gets you in a trance, and I don't know if it's a good thing. Fair. Got Dada Films in the house. Good to see you. Tony, he liked the trailer. Oh, speaking of devil, Legacy Nerd in the house. Good to see you. Dave said, I'm looking forward to the show. If not fist pumping through the air, but I'm looking forward to it. Getting an MIB vibe from the trailer. Yeah, exactly. Very much seemed like Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith. Except in this case, the Will Smith character is not outwardly comic relief, but I think it would be pretty funny if Jon Stewart is trying to be serious and then comedic things keep happening to him because he's learning how to use the ring. And then Hal Jordan could take up the comedy, which would line up. Checks out. So we'll see. We shall see. We also got Legacy actually had a bunch of stills. I know the suit in the closet thing, a lot of people had issue with that, which I agree with. The suit doesn't work like that. We'll see. Although in Justice League, the cartoon, I feel like Jon Stewart's suit was wearable like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I remember there was the episode where he's in regular clothes and then he hits himself with the ring and like builds up the suit, and now the suit is there. The suit gets battle damaged in the cartoon as well, which would imply it's fabric of some sort. And then I think the episode when they go back in time to World War II, when his ring runs out of power, I think he also still has the suit on. So they could just be following that. It could be. And it looks like it's inspired by Green Lantern Earth 1. It's a good spot. Good spot. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Daniel says, so there was one episode where he took off the ring and the suit dissolves. Yeah. I kind of remember that as well. Yeah, I feel like in the cartoon, the way they use the suit kind of varied. From episode to episode. Like, it wasn't always consistent. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic. I'm still optimistic about it. Cool. All right, let's head over to Toy Shiz. Talk some plastic real quick. And this came out this week for an announcement, and this thing looks dope. This looks dope. This is a new mall figure for the new mall series. They went with the classic box as well, which is pretty dope. Put it on the black box. And yeah, these look very good. These look very good. But more importantly, mall looks really good. Will I be buying this full price? No. We're done doing that for a while. But it looks good. The head sculpt looks new. The cloth cloak looks new. I wish it was wired. Hasbro's still not doing the wired thing. Understandable though. I get it. And the blades can come in and out of the double-bladed saber. Interesting though how he has one half is the OG Maul saber, and then the left half is something new. And I feel, Season 7 lightsaber. Yeah, he did not have the OG saber at the end of Clone Wars. Oh, but this one here, it looks like it's half and half. What is this? This is from 2021. Season 7 was 2021? Holy cow. Yeah, but I feel like when it actually came out, they switched it up. I could be wrong. Oh yeah, I guess I am wrong. Everybody looks like he does have half of the OG. Anyway, I'm still excited for the show. Shout out to Nilda on Appetite for Collectibles. We were debating Star Wars this past week, and I had a hot take. Of course, I encourage you to go back and watch that episode. It was essentially everybody gave their 5 hot takes for Star Wars and their 5 most underrated characters for Star Wars. And I want to run this by you guys. First of all, in relation to Maul, somebody's hot take was Maul should have stayed dead, which I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But my hot take was one of them. Revenge of the Sith as a movie sucks as far as where the characters go and how we get to the end. That movie is awful. However, when you add in the cartoon series Clone Wars, not Tarkovsky, because that one set a bar way too high, and that movie did not catch that. But when you watch the CGI Clone Wars, the Dave Filoni Clone Wars, I feel like that movie gives a lot of context to the events of Revenge of the Sith, therefore making Revenge of the Sith a better viewing experience. So if you only watch Phantom, Attack of the Clones, the movie, and Revenge of the Sith, if you just watch those 3 on their own, I think Revenge of the Sith sucks. But if you watch Phantom, Attack of the Clones, which sucks either way. If you watch Phantom, Attack of the Clones, The Clone Wars, and then you watch Revenge of the Sith, better movie. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I just thought his turn at the end of Revenge of the Sith on just you don't get the rank of master, and the girl that you married after the last movie potentially dying. We don't know if she even would die. I feel like based on the movies alone, him turning to the extent of murdering an entire Jedi cult, I feel like it didn't make sense. It does not make sense. But then when you watch the Clone Wars and you see all the things he's done, reasons for PTSD existing, he M-words a lot of people in the Clone Wars without even hesitating. So it's like, all right, this dude definitely has some issues. To me, it made it make more sense. So you let me know if you agree or not. Ultra said a huge Star Wars hot take: Skeleton Crew is overrated as there's nothing appealing about the series, and the character's boring and just downright terrible. I don't think it's a hot take because I didn't like it either. But here's what I will say. First of all, I've been rewatching pretty much everything. Everything that I've hated in Star Wars, I've been giving it a rewatch. I've turned around on Last Jedi. I did not turn around on Ahsoka. I've turned around on The Acolyte to a certain extent. but I have not given Skeleton Crew another watch. To the point I made on Appetite for Collectibles, aka the Kidult podcast, I forgot Skeleton Crew even existed. I forgot that show existed because I thought it was just boring. But that being said, General Kenobi's experience watching Skeleton Crew made me appreciate it for what it was. And even when Ahsoka came out, one of my critiques of Ahsoka was, I don't think the show identifies the audience it's going for. You know, it's super niche of a character where casuals can't jump in. But then as a hardcore fan, there's things they talk about as though you didn't watch Rebels and Clone Wars. Like Ahsoka to me really failed to identify, we're going for hardcores, we're going for casual, which is probably a losing battle anyway. But I was like, okay, maybe I'm just not target audience somehow for this one. For the Acolyte, I was like, same thing, you know, maybe I'm just not target audience, so I'll just watch it for what it is. Star Wars Visions, I don't think they know who they're going for in that, personally. But then when it came to Skeleton Crew, General Kenobi said that his kid was excited to watch it every week. Every week, his son was like, you know, when's Skeleton Crew coming out? Let's watch it together. Now he's into something that General Kenobi obviously loves. So they have that bonding experience once a week. We sit down and watch Star Wars together. We watch new Star Wars together. And that made me appreciate the show, being like, okay, that's the target audience, the youth. And if it brings you that kind of joy with your family to say, hey, we're all excited to sit down and watch new Star Wars, whether it's for everybody in the family or not, to me, I think it's a win. I say it's a win. Tony said he liked the series. And the fact that Skeleton Crew took inspiration from Goonies, which another hot take is very overrated and I'm stopping right there. It was a fun adventure in Star Wars universe, felt like Goonies. Yeah. We should have instead gotten a Star Wars horror. I know you, here's the thing. I know you really want that. And to Tony's point, we all will watch that whenever we get that, but Disney's not going to do it. Disney's not going to do a horror series on, for Star Wars. I hope they do someday introduce the Death Troopers, the zombie ones, you know, which some people actually didn't like. Some people hated the fact that they introduced that, even though that is a Legends concept. But we're not getting that kind of stuff in the mainstream, on the main releases. It's just not going to happen. I'm not saying I agree with it not happening, but it's just not going to be a thing. Sorry, but that's the truth. Skeleton Crew is overrated, boring, and not even the villains are good like the Terminator. Like I said, I don't disagree that I thought Skeleton Crew was boring, but we do have to, at a certain point, just acknowledge, like, if the show's not, like, every Star Wars show is not going to be for every Star Wars fan. Of course, nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, but we have to just acknowledge, like, all right, this is a kid show. And they added elements to it to attempt to get adults to also be able to sit there and tolerate it. If you have the example of Kenobi watching it with his kid, the kid liked it. To me, that's a win. And then in turn, Kenobi gets Clone Wars. He can watch that. I think outside of season 1, Clone Wars isn't really a kid's show. In fact, my buddy Matt, he started watching it with his kid. And I messaged him and I was like, I feel like season 2 is a bit dicey. Like, I feel like you should probably screen it before you watch it with your kid. But then he pointed out he was watching it with the baby, not like the toddler. And I was like, oh, okay. The baby has no clue what's happening. But you know, Empire Strikes Back, right? Like, you can Rogue One. Like, you can show your kid Rogue One. I mean, you can show your kid Return of the Jedi You show your kid A New Hope. Empire might be a little scary. Rogue One might be a little scary. Show your kid Phantom Menace. Revenge of the Sith might be a little scary. You know, like, we got to just acknowledge it for what it is. And Harrison Ford said it out his own mouth. Ain't that kind of movie. And for a lot of us, it's taken us a long time to get to the point of acknowledging Star Wars is a kid's franchise. That was the original intention. Goonies top 5. There you go. JB in the house. I don't know, Ultra, to each their own, but you can't make blanketed terms saying it's overrated isn't fair. The difference between the Legends version and the Ahsoka version is the Legends version is true undead like the shitty ones from Ahsoka, which I hate as they're brainwashed soldiers. But they were undead. Goonies is so overhyped, just like E.T., which I dislike, as it's responsible for the failures of both John Carpenter Thing, Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, and my friend Emily Zilla said so. Oh, you're saying it's responsible for their failures because it like overshadowed them, but it's not even the same audience. Like, who's Emily Zilla? Is she a YouTube person? Let's see. Oh, Emmy Zilla. It looks like she just kind of clips movies. Yeah, she just reshares movie content. I don't know. But yeah, it's not the same thing. Like, it's not. That would be like, I mean, that I was gonna say an example, but like what you gave is like the perfect example. Like, we can't say The Thing failed because E.T. was successful. You know, you're taking your kid to see E.T., which I think, was a little bit too mature, but at the same time, what was I watching the other day? Oh, I was watching Conan the other day, and Conan the Destroyer was rated PG, which is crazy. But you're taking your kid to see E.T. or not taking your kid to see the Thing, so you can't say one cannibalized the other. Besides, in hindsight, The Thing and Blade Runner made tons of money. They made boatloads of money. So yeah, I don't. To me, that's a wild connection to make. I got to go back and watch. And yes, I did my damn research, and I'm looking at you, Dre, the fake chief, especially the MC. Marv in the house. Good to see you. Marv has his show coming on after this one. Make sure you check that out. Hope you have a great stream. Ultra, you're comparing, I think you mean say apples to oranges. Jamie. Oh, sorry. Jamie in the house, good to see you. Yeah, apples to oranges. Emmy's a YouTuber who I've known for almost a year and did a post about it long ago. Oh, okay. We're saying hi to each other. Doing good. Love that. Slime time in the house. Good to see you. Doing well. Nerdy SOB didn't bother to check Emma Zilla's YouTube community posts. Which of these John Carpenter movies are considered the most underrated? I mean, I feel like you'd have to go with whatever is the least popular, right? Because they're, the most underrated. 730 votes. All right. See, I mean, she got an audience. Honestly, I saw, I think, the remake of Assault on Precinct 13. Is Ice Cube in that one? I don't remember. I feel like, I mean, we could always look it up, but it's more fun to think about it, right? I think Assault on Precinct 13 came out in like 97, the remake. 2005. Lawrence Fishburne. John Leguizamo. Mentally, like 1998 to like 2003 or like the same year to me. The same kind of movies and content existed between those 5 years. Under most considered on. Okay, I'm not gonna. If I take out popularity, and I strictly go based on what should be more popular because it's that good of a movie, I'm gonna go with Big Trouble. I feel like Big Trouble should be on a lot of people's list of like top 10. That's a tough one. There's so many good action movies in the 80s. It should definitely be on everybody's list for top Kurt Russell movies, which I feel like it probably is. But I feel like when people think of action movies from the 80s, they don't bring up Big Trouble. And they should. So I'm going to go Big Trouble. Yeah, that's the most popular one. And They Live, I feel like I watched it fairly recently. I think I watched it 2 years ago. I thought They Live was good. Like They Live is a fun, like grindhouse style movie. But if you're like pick one to watch that's like the best viewing experience, I'm going Big Trouble. They Live's also kind of really meta at this point. Favorite moment 19. Wow, she does a lot of polls. Well, okay. There's a lot of polls. Should I do more polls on our channel? That's what I should be doing. Which of these John Carpenter movies featuring Kurt Russell are considered your favorite? I'm probably going to go Thing on this one. I think Thing is one of the best sci-fi horror movies out there. Yeah. Godzilla, Famous Monsters, Godzilla, Kurt Russell, underrated action star. I don't know. You know what it is with Kurt Russell? There were just so many killers back then. You know, like right now, you know, I'm doing two different rewatches. I'm doing like just 80s in general, which I've done shorts of me working on the various 3D prints, watching like Bloodsport. I'm going to watch Kickboxer. Going to be watching Lionheart probably this weekend. Lionheart's on my list. So there's like that Jean-Claude, you know, the martial arts rewatch happening. This week during work, my background noise, when I try to stop watching the news, has been the Conan series. So I watched Destroyer. I watched Red Sonja, which I always count as in the Conan universe, even though it's not, but I count it. And I was going to rewatch Conan the Barbarian at some point. Didn't get to it. And I want to watch the new Red Sonja movie. So, right there, you have 3 fun action movies featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, Kurt Russell in the 80s, as far as action goes, you're running against Arnold, Sylvester, Jean-Claude. You're still going against technically Jackie Chan, even though he was more like those are straight in Hong Kong, but those VHS tapes are coming here. Steven Seagal came on the scene. Kurt Russell. Chuck Norris was still doing his thing. Brandon Lee's out there. Dolph Lundgren's out there. Like, there are so many freaking, talking about Blade Runner. I mean, Harrison Ford, you know, he was putting out some action movies. So like the 80s was just jammed with action stars. So ironically, similar to the Mr. Olympia competitions with Arnold, you know, like he was just that big of a, not just athlete, but celebrity that everybody else was just overshadowed. It didn't matter how good they were. To bring it into like a modern UFC type of thing, some of you may remember George St. Pierre, right? Like George St. Pierre, welterweight champion, undefeated except for Matt Serra. George St. Pierre beat 3 generations worth of fighter. 3 generations in the sense of the UFC, not like he beat, you know, grandfather, father, son, but like he beat like 3 eras of UFC fighter as the UFC was evolving as a sport. And with every era that he was champion, and as fighters came in and worked their way up the ranking, so many of those fighters could have been dominant for multiple defense runs. But because they ran into GSP, he kept all of them down, beat them all. So when we go to action movies, Stallone could have been number 1 for the longest time. Chuck Norris could have been number 1 for the longest time. Kurt Russell, of course, could have been number 1. Mel Gibson, you know, with the Mad Max series, Lethal Weapon series, you know, but Arnold was just so dominant. He just kept everybody else down. And some of it was on purpose. He has some fun stories about that. But like he did, he came across the script via a mutual person that him and Stallone knew. He came across the script for Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And he thought it was so dumb. But to mess with Stallone, he told the mutual friend, I'm thinking about doing this movie, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. He told Stallone, and Stallone was like, F that, I'm going to take this from him. Stallone gets Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I would say underrated Stallone movie. Super fun. It's a fun movie. But that's, you know, iron sharpens iron. Like so many bangers were coming out back then. You know, for me, it's hard to say underrated with certain things. There's plenty of things I could say underrated, like, you know, Best of the Best is an underrated sports movie. It's a fun watch. Makes no sense. Fun watch. Red Sonja, underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. But it's also tough because you're just like, there's so many good things from that era. And that's why we have such nostalgia for it. It's hard to say Kurt Russell's underrated, or, you know, because there's just so many good things. I don't know. I feel like I didn't really nail a point there. It's more of a tangent. But the 80s were just so good. And that, like I said, that's why we love it so much. And then you get into the early 90s, right? And then we're getting into the era of Stallone dating Bridget Fonda, right? No, Bridget Nielsen. You know, I think of Stallone, you know, in his era of like The Specialist, right? Where now he has like the more curly hair, the round black glasses. Jean-Claude's, you know, he's got those bangers one after the other, and now he's going into his Time Cop era, his Lionheart era. Arnold Schwarzenegger is going into his True Lies, Kindergarten Cop era. Like even the early 90s, they were all dominating with banger after banger after banger, cliffhanger, And Kurt Russell was still doing his thing. And then when we approach the 90s, then Bruce Willis gets thrown into the mix, like, hey, we talk GSP. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the GSP of action movies. My man came in, dominated the 80s, dominated the 90s, had a decent run in the 2000s until he ran for governor and, left the game. But let's pull up Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. It's a long list. All right. Okay. Dude is 78. That's crazy. $1.2 billion net worth. I also forgot, he did not remarry after Marie Shriver. Interesting. He's living his best life. Actually, you know what? IMDb will be better because we'll get it in order. It's going to be a sad day when he goes. I'll tell you that. All right, so let's go all the way down. Okay. So 70s, he comes in, hits America, barely speaks English, does Hercules in New York. That movie got 3.3 stars. That's funny. Okay, so we, in the 70s, he's doing whatever, not really killing it. And then, to my surprise, actually, Conan the Barbarian is first. 6.9 out of 10. Anyway, so 82 starts the generational run. So let's go to here. So we have Conan the Barbarian. Oh, Destroyers after that, same time as Terminator. Red Sonja after that. Commando. Raw Deal. Predator. Running Man. Red Heat. Twins. Total Recall. Total Recall is 1990. So in just that 10-year span, look at the volume of movies this dude did and how many bangers were there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Raw Deal, I got to rewatch that. I'm going to count it though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he mixed in comedy with that in doing Twins. You can even argue part of Running Man is a bit comedic. Let's go to Stallone. It's gonna be a sad one when he goes too. Despite his political interests these days, I recognize the GOAT that is Stallone. All right, so Rocky isn't it in the 70s? Yeah, 76. All right, so Stallone starts his generational run in the 70s. So we can argue that Sylvester Stallone dominated the 70s. Because The Thing is the 80s. Blade Runner's the 80s. We're not really in the steroid era yet. So we'll say that Stallone takes the 70s, right? Rocky 2, my favorite one. No, Rocky 3 is my favorite one. Nighthawks. Oof, Nighthawks with freaking Billy D. Williams. Yep. So now we enter Rocky 3, First Blood. That's right, he was in Staying Alive. First Blood 2, Rocky 4, Cobra, Over the Top, Rambo 3. Lockup's okay. Tango and Cash, man. Rocky 5 was in 1990. That's crazy. How old is he older than Arnold? Oh, they're the same age. They're both 79, right? Didn't I just say that Arnold was 79? Oh, he's 78. 1 year difference. Arnold was in 47. Sylvester was in 1946. That's demonic right there. Anyway, and then I'll get to the comments. I'm sorry. I'm way behind on the comments here. But I mean that 90s run with that 80s run with Sylvester is not a bad run at all. If Arnold didn't exist, Sylvester Stallone wins the 80s. Then we get to the 90s. Rocky V, we let that one go. Stop or Mom Will Shoot, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, The Specialist, Judge Dredd, Assassins, Daylight, Copland. And then you get to the 2000s. So I would say Arnold wins the 90s also. These are iconic. This little run here from Daylight down to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Curly hair, Sylvester Stallone, killer. This is a just to quote Brendan Schaub, this is a murderer's row of movies. But Arnold, in my opinion, beats it. So it's not that Kurt Russell's underrated. It's just these dudes were putting out some heat. Pun intended. Amazing action movie. None of these guys are in heat. Let's catch back up to the comments. People watch The Thing despite knowing it's rated R. Horror movies still bitched about it for being too depressing and horrifying. Yeah, but I mean, Alien, people had some complaints there. I was listening to the Grim Life YouTube channel. They went to go, was it the filming locations for Exorcist? There's something with The Exorcist. They were covering that. And they were playing newsreels from when The Exorcist came out and how people were like, it's so gross. People were throwing up in the movie theater. Like it's, smut. Like people were bashing The Exorcist. But then post The Exorcist, it's one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Some people have it as number one. So, but don't you think, but I don't think you can find it as I tried to go back looking for it, but it won't let me scroll further. Oh, her poll on that one. Got it. Rogue Demon in the house. Good to see you. And people who watch Blade Runner bitched about how slow paced and moody it is when that's the intention for it and it worked out. Blade Runner is like pure sci-fi. Like Blade Runner is not a movie for everybody at all. It is very boring. It is very moody. It is very slow paced. To your point, that is the point of Blade Runner. So if you're not into sci-fi like that, you're not going to like Blade Runner. And actually, I'm going to piggyback on that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my critiques when Blade Runner 2099, 2049, whatever year it is, when the Blade Runner sequel came out and people said it's boring, it's slow, I was like, did you not watch the first one? To me, there's no way you can watch Blade Runner, the first movie, and not like the second movie if you like the first movie. To me, it's impossible. Impossible. Pacing's the same. Slow, not too much action. You're more like just in this world, this post-nuclear war world. It's a great movie. 2099, I think it is. So when people are like, oh, I didn't like the second one, but I like the first one, I'm like, it's kind of the same thing. Of course, you can say, I don't know who would say this. You could say, I don't like Ryan Gosling. I like Harrison Ford better. But, I mean, you can't hate Ryan Gosling. Come on. Come on. Come on. Original Salt is classic. All right, I got to check that out. I check it out. General Kenobi in the house. We were just talking about you. Definitely an underrated film, but it's so good. All out of bubblegum. Yep. Pulls it as more random, who cares information. Fair. All the way to Thing, Escape from New York, as Kurt Russell is amazing in both of them. Yeah, he is. Stuntman Mike. Ghost of Mars. That film always has the good random, like really good movies, but they're just so random I forget they exist. That's a good callback. Ghost of Mars is a pretty good movie as well. Forgot about that one. Now I want to watch Ghost of Mars. Yep, there you go. JB said Jean-Claude Double Impact top 3 JVD. Let's pull up Jean-Claude Van Damme. You have Double Impact in top 3? Oh man. I gotta clip this segment. Man. Oh, this is just the actual movie. Oh man. It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, and Joe Rogan pointed it out too, how it's just amazing that when Bloodsport came out up until the 2000s, based on a true story, and nobody bothered to fact check it until the 2000s to be like, wait, what happened again? What's this Kumite thing? Can you explain it? Oh, it's not real. Got it. Oh, he was the voice of Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 1 Definitive Edition. Interesting. All right. We're going down in the earlier round. All right. Jean-Claude comes in the scene in the 79, but we're going to go 80s. And that is nuts. That is nuts. Your first big one is Bloodsport. 6.8 out of 10. So it didn't even get that great of an IMDb score, which obviously a lot of the things we've looked at so far tonight haven't really, but great movie. Okay, so Jean-Claude's 80s run is very short. Bloodsport, Cyborg, Kickboxer. 3 solid movies. 3 very solid movies. And now let's hit the Jean-Claude 90s run. This was his peak. Lionheart, Death Warrant, Double Impact, Universal Soldier. That's right, he was the Last Action Hero in the movie premiere. Hard Target, Time Cop. That was a music video. I was like, that doesn't look familiar. Street Fighter, say what you will. He's in Street Fighter. Sudden Death. Friends. The Quest. I feel like The Quest was like that was the apex. Double Team. That's right. With why am I drawing a blank on his name? Dennis Rodman. All right, here we go. Okay, so The Quest, Double Team, that's where we stopped. Not Knockoff's terrible. Legionnaire, it was okay. Universal Soldier: The Return wasn't terrible. And then it's downhill from The Quest. The Quest was like peak. But going back down into the 90s, did I pass Lionheart? Oh, here it is, 90. I thought Lionheart was way after that. Lionheart, Bloodsport, and Legionnaire. He's a military prisoner, has to go fight in a competition. It's the same shit every time. Solid movies. So you have Double Impact in your top 3. To me, there's no way that Double Impact beats between Kickboxer, Lionheart, Bloodsport, and Universal Soldier. I don't. JB, I can't do that one. I can't do Double Impact top 3. Starman, Ice Cube was robbed of an Oscar for that one. Ghost of Mars. Yep, Starman sounds like a good Sunday watching list. Yeah. Yeah, all these movies are like, and it's funny with Red Sonja. Sal has not seen Red Sonja. And I was like, how have you not seen that? Like, Red Sonja was like your classic TBS TNT Saturday movie, like the afternoon movies. Like when I think back to being a kid, Saturday afternoon, if I wasn't outside playing and I was watching TV, I think of The Blue Lagoon, Red Sonja, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and like Jackie Chan Police Story. No, Operation Condor. That was what was playing the most. To me, those are like Saturday morning. I don't know. I feel like summer, windows open, fresh air in the house. Like the house smells like freaking Pine Sol. My mom wasn't a fabuloso woman. It's like Pine Sol. And like, I just finished watching X-Men. And now I switch over to TNT or TBS. And like I said, Red Sonja, Kickboxer, Blue Lagoon. One of those is on there. Mad Max is on there. One of those is in rotation on TBS and TNT. The year is 1995. You're right. We don't have any action stars up and coming. No, I mean, Alan Richardson was on a run. And Henry Cavill was on a run. I feel like Vin Diesel really messed it up. Yeah. How old's Ryan Gosling, by the way? $45. Wow. He's that close in age to me. That's crazy. I feel like Ryan Gosling's been 30 forever. Eric Roberts, right? Yeah. Best of the best. Oh, he's younger than all those guys. That's crazy. Let's pull up Eric Roberts. Let's go back to the 90s on him. Eric Roberts be working, man. He be working. Look at that. Look at that. Holy, shout out Eric Roberts. This dude be working. Holy cow. Holy cow. I'm not even out of 2015 yet. And I'm still scrolling. Still scrolling. Eric Roberts. One more time. 2012. We're still scrolling. We are still scrolling on Eric Roberts here. He had a Justice League credit. We're going to go back and try to find that one. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Eric Roberts. 80s. We're not doing anything too crazy here. Best of the best, 89. So we're going to start there. He was working. 89 is when it kicks off. So technically that's the 80s. Now we go into the 90s. And yep, he's in Best of the Best 2. He's in The Specialist with Stallone and Sharon Stone. And isn't The Specialist also with I was gonna say Benicio del Toro. Antonio Banderas. Isn't he in Specialist? He plays himself in the Cable Guy. I forgot about that. He's in a Doctor Who movie. In the show Oz. Touched by an Angel. Spawn, the cartoon. Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff. There's just not a lot of bangers. But my man Eric Roberts be working. Holy shit. That's right. Down Ass Chick video. I forgot about that. Where was he in Justice League? Mongol. He's the voice of Mongol. Shout out Eric Roberts. Man. I would love to talk to Eric Roberts. I just would. People like him, man. I just want to know who were you up against? Like, who was your number one op in Hollywood when you were going for a role back then? You know, obviously Arnold and Sylvester went head to head on everything, but I feel like all these actors and actresses, they always have those, like, every time I went to an audition, that person was there, and I was like, fuck. Like, who was Eric Roberts' number one op? I want to know. Damn, I missed GSP. He had a dope run. Yeah, he did. Yep. Yeah, you guys should watch Ghosts of Mars on your rewatch series. I've seen it at least 10 times, but not in the 6-7 years. Yeah, Cobra's so good. Best Arnold movies, Pumping Iron. That is a really good movie. Yeah, definitely watch Starman with Jeff Bridges. Yeah. I find Terminator 2 slightly overrated. I find Terminator 2 slightly overrated as it went from sci-fi horror to sci-fi action and made the T-100 a hero, which at the point is annoying as it killed the aura of being a killing machine. Ultra. I don't know where you stand. Are you just Terminator 1 and then the cartoon series? Are those the only two things you like? There are elements to T2 I don't like. Like, I thought the liquid metal thing was like, we went too far. The same way I was commenting how Beskar was going too far. But that's about it. Anybody else remember the show, The Adventures of Captain Power? The Adventures of Captain Power. Oh, I do not. Oh, that one I don't know. You know, it's funny. Before your time, Tony, we used to watch TV show trailers and intros here on the channel, and I stopped doing it because we kept getting copyright claims, and especially once we hit monetization, I was like, I can't mess with this. And the one that really pissed me off, I don't know if some of you OGs remember, but the one copyright claim that really pissed me off, actually there's two. We got a copyright claim on Airwolf, and we got a copyright claim on Renegade. I was like, neither of these shows are relevant anymore. None of them are relevant anymore. In fact, we looked it up. Lorenzo Lamas is a helicopter pilot that flies people to oil rigs down the Gulf of Mexico. I was like, nobody talks about these shows anymore. If anybody's talking about the show, Airwolf or Renegade, they should let that stuff go. Like, at least we're talking about it, but not copyright claims. It was ridiculous. So I would watch that Captain Power one, but I don't want to get a copyright claim. We don't do that anymore. G was with all the doom and gloom tonight. Talking about the T-800. Jean-Claude was in Breaking. He was, yeah. Yeah, Nighthawks was super dope with Lando. Yep. And Rutger Hauer's in that one. Yeah. Emmy Zilla finds The Exorcist very... Bro, you should already stop watching her channel. You should already... Overrated? Overrated. Nah. The reasons why the Thing 2011 movie failed is not well written, underdeveloped characters, felt more like a remake than a prequel, and it didn't live up to the original. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they knew what that movie was. And I feel like they had a hard time conveying that to audiences. And that's why people didn't go see it. Like, I remember when the Thing movie came out, I think the Thing game had already been out for Xbox. And I was excited to see that movie, but then I couldn't tell if it was a prequel or not. And then even so, I was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why would this be happening at a cabin randomly? You know, if anything, I'm not that I want them to do this, but if they were to do anything else with the Thing, it should be a prequel showing the Swiss team when they find the alien. If anything, that should be what gets done. The 2011, I don't even remember if I liked it or not, to be honest. I saw it. I don't remember how it goes. I only remember the at one point there's like a dream catcher hanging in the cabin. And there's a ginger actor in it. But otherwise, I don't remember too much. Dude, I remember seeing Universal Soldier and loving it as a kid. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Legionnaire. Let's look at Dolph Lundgren's run. Because he also had a killer ass run. Okay. Okay, so Lundgren comes in. I believe he's dating at the time. What's her name? That's in Conan the Destroyer. Girlfriend Black. Oh, it was Grace Jones. Yeah. He was dating Grace Jones. He was a model. She was a model. And yeah, that dude springboarded. She gave him a layup and he fucking dunked that shit. View to a Kill, Rocky 4. Now this is just straight 80s. This is just the 80s. View to a Kill, Rocky 4, Masters of the Universe, Red Scorpion, Punisher. Pretty freaking good. Pretty freaking good. Now let's hit the 90s. Showdown Little Tokyo, Universal Soldier. Then we're kind of done. Universal Soldier might have been Apex. But he was working. Yep. Came back for Universal Soldier. I remember that. And then Expendables. Now we're in the 2000s. Expendables 2, Universal Soldier again. Expendables. I feel like Skin Trade was good. I feel like I saw that. I just don't remember. Kindergarten Cop 2. Bro. You know, we are not fans of shitty remakes and money grabs. Kindergarten Cop 2 is a good movie. I will die on that hill. That movie was hilarious. I swear to you. I swear to you. Kindergarten Cop 2. It's good. Creed 2. Aquaman. It's Always Sunny. Expendables, Aquaman. Yeah. So Dolph Lundgren, not too many bangers, but the ones that he was in, they were bangers, man. Those are heat. Showdown Low Tokyo, my favorite Brandon Lee movie. And then let's go to Kurt Russell. Let me just try to catch up on the comments here. The reason why Blade Runner 2049 failed is not the fact that not a lot of people knew much of the original. Marketing problems, high budget, and the fact that it was overshadowed by Last Jedi, which is so bad. Ooh, interesting. Blade Runner 2049 was 2017. Last Jedi 27. Ooh, Ultra Carta. Now, I am a very much a believer of the Last Jedi effect. Very much a believer of that. Let's go side by side here. Release date October 6th. Release date December 15th. Oh, Denis did the Blade Runner? I didn't know that. Interesting. I would have almost given that one to you. I'm going to man. All right. Let's do this. I don't have everything on here, but we've not gone to the movie box office tracker in a long time. But we're going to go for it. 2017. What do I have on this list? Okay, so I have Blade Runner on here. Okay, so 2017, the movies that for those of you who don't know about this list, for the longest time I was doing box office recap where we break down box office performance. We track to see if something hits profitability or not. And most of this list that has older movies, pre-2023, we'll say, are because I was trying to track how sequels are doing versus the original movies, or how a remake is doing versus the original. So that's why we have a populated list, even though we were technically not tracking in real time when this movie, or when these dates came out. Okay, so as a reminder of the Last Jedi effect, and I want to keep this on the screen here, that Ultra is kind of alluding to here. So in the Last Jedi time frame, I would say actually at post Last Jedi, I would say 2018, 2016. Actually, I go early. 2016, that was when Hillary went against Trump. Around that time period, when the Mary Sue was starting to pop off as well, there was a lot of media where people were saying, oh, this is a Mary Sue character. Rey is a Mary Sue character. Like, OP because she's a woman and that's it. That's the only criteria. So I've always felt like Last Jedi was the final spark that got this whole Mary Sue conversation going, where fan bases were divided by like, you're sexist, you're misogynist, versus like, just give us women characters written well. Like, I feel like all of that really, Last Jedi sparked the powder keg. So Last Jedi in 2017 to me is your what's the Loki thing? Your something moment, right? Your whatever. It'll come back to me. I know you guys are gonna say it now in the comments. But 2017 was that major event that got a series of events rolling. Now, Ultra saying that Blade Runner failed for a number of reasons, but it was ultimately overshadowed by Last Jedi, which was bad. So I'm going to say I disagree that there's a direct correlation, but I feel like you're not wrong in the sense that Star Wars had an effect here, because people were angry they killed off Han Solo, and it felt like, let's open up 2016 and 15 here. You know, Ultra, you had a lot of L takes today, but this one you might not be off on, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Okay, 2015, Force Awakens, Civil War. 2015 was a vibe, man. Okay, Answer the Call, right? Answer the Call, Mary Sue shit happening. Logan was great. Alien. So we had a lot of, you could see over here. I got to fill this in some more. There's a lot of sequels, some prequels, some like reimaginings going on. And I feel like Blade Runner 2049, where was Indiana Jones? Do I have Indiana Jones on this list? Legacy characters. Do I have an Indiana Jones one? I do. Let's get rid of blank. Crystal Skull was 2008. I'm missing a movie. Am I missing a movie? Indiana Jones movies. Okay, yeah. All right, got them all. All right. I was tempted to say that there might be a Harrison Ford issue going on there. But I just feel like overall, the movie industry was in an interesting spot getting into where are we? Into Blade Runner. All right. So movies were hitting profit marks. You had a lot of good things coming up here. Alien did not do the best. King Arthur did not do the best. We had Wonder Woman. Transformers, not great. Wrong way. 2018. Man. Man, I'm not going to blame Last Jedi here, but I feel like it's just, I don't know. Maybe people just didn't, maybe it's a scenario where people just weren't asking for it. And I remember Blade Runner was all over like Tested. Like Tested was pushing this movie hard. If I go, let's sort this real quick by The Predator was 2018 as well. Oh, no, it's 2017, 2018. Yeah, so between, I have up on here now 2017, I have 16, 17, and 18. And Blade Runner is one of the lower performing ones. Did not hit profitability. I'm going to go with, and I'm so appreciative of that comment. I love thinking about this shit. I do. I'm sorry if this is boring. I'm going to go with Blade Runner was not a victim of The Last Jedi. But I'm going to say Blade Runner may have been a victim of what happened with Tron, where it's so sci-fi. It is so niche that even if you throw in a megastar, it can't save it. And I think that's where it's really impressive that Dune was able to do what it did 2 times. Dune 3 comes out this year, which I didn't even realize. Because Dune is also super sci-fi, super niche. We had the original Dune movie. We had the Sci-Fi Channel series, the books. Not popular by pop culture standards from a casual perspective. But they loaded it with stars, with superstars, upcoming superstars, and Dune did fantastic. Actually, same director, Denis, whatever his name is, did Dune and did Blade Runner, which is very impressive when you think about that. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like two movies, super niche, super sci-fi. One would say boring. All of those are very boring movies if you're not into that kind of genre. And yet one was a flop and then the other killed it. You know? Arrival. Arrival is not a bad movie. Not popular at all. Sicario's sick. I mean, come on. That's another one. I would love to talk to Denis about Blade Runner and ask him, why do you think it failed? And he might say it didn't fail. He might, when we think about the metrics that we use to count if a movie was good or not, we are only going based on box office and the numbers that are released publicly. But these directors and the insiders, they may say that, hey, your whole rule of 2 thing is dumb. Like, the concept's there, but that's not really how we gauge success. So thank you so much for that comment. I love talking about this stuff. That's why I like the stock market stuff. I like trying to look at the numbers, look at the result. How do we get to that result? Really try to break it down. And if I hadn't looked it up, I would have 100% agreed that Blade Runner suffered because of Last Jedi. But it turns out because of the order of the releases, I would say that's not true. But there was definitely something happening that year. And I feel like Blade Runner also, like Tron, I almost said Ghost in the Shell, but that movie was not good. But, super sci-fi, super niche, all very similar, actually, as far as their target audience, and just did not do well. Double Impact had a 6-time Miss Olympia, Corey Everson, in it, plus 2 Jean-Claude Van Damme's in it. It's for his brother. JCVD is great. Breaker High, so funny. Hot take: Alan Ritchson is a way better actor than Chris Pratt, who I find very overrated as he keeps playing wisecracking characters all the time, and it's fucking annoying. Don't disagree. Alan Ritchson, I believe, is underrated. JCVD is a great film. Agree, yeah. I remember I watched it, liked it, don't remember anything about it. The Pope of Greenwich Village is a great, great film. Everybody should watch that. I never caught that. Chris Pratt is a stripper. Chris Pratt is trying to be like his father-in-law, but fails, and hell, even Alan Ritchson's trying to be the next Arnold, but does it better as he's the embodiment of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. Eric and his sister, best brother-sister duo. I didn't realize until recently Eric Roberts was related to Julia Roberts. And the wild one, my wife told me, and then we looked it up. Julia Roberts' parents were struggling to afford to give birth to her, I believe. And Martin Luther King paid for her birth. Something crazy like that. You hated Dominion so much. Yeah, I'm not a Chris Pratt guy. I was, and then Chris Pratt, I don't know. He's a very sus person. Killed it as Star-Lord. Great in Parks and Rec. But I remember watching a thing where somebody pointed out, they're like, yeah, Chris Pratt duped everybody. Like, he gained weight so he could be perceived as funny, so he can get Parks and Rec. But now we're seeing the real Chris Pratt. And then when I saw that video, all of a sudden a light switch went off, and I was like, I don't think I like Chris Pratt. And I could be way off. Freaking Falcon. I'm sorry I missed on what would have been fun and to have talked about. Yeah. Yeah, I could have had that one as an open micer type of thing. Terminator Salvation is the closest that we'll ever get to a proper future Terminator movie as T3. And Dark Fate were just T2 rehash with Terminator Genesis sucked ass. I feel like I liked Genesis. And I did like Dark Fate. Did not like T3. Seems like Emmy Zilla never watched anything. Also, this is the reason why you're called the nerdy the SOB, as you can sometimes act like an SOB. I do. Never will stop nerdy the SOB, as Emma Zilla is my friend and has facts unlike you and has done his research. Damn research SOB. Actually, they do. I've known Emma Zilla way more than you all, and I'll stand by him. Oh, Emmy Zilla's a guy. Okay, I'm sorry. And when there are times I disagree with him, good for them. So their opinion must then be agreed upon no matter what. Mario movie of the year. The OG Mario movie, also good. Gotta love Bob's films. Speaking of Indiana Jones, the reason the 5th film failed is because of its massive budget, lack of appeal, poor marketing, and the fact that there were other movies that year people were excited for. Honestly, Indiana Jones should have stayed as a trilogy. I totally agree. And Last Crusade was indeed to be the last Indiana Jones movie. And the ending was way better sent off than the 4th and 5th movies. Agreed. God, fuck the 2017 Ghost in the Shell movie, as I'll never forgive Scarlett Johansson for robbing underrated actress Rinko Kikuchi of the role as Matako. I always forget how to say her name. Yeah. Oh, we were talking about that on live. Oh, okay. I thought it was my wife. I confuse you and my wife all the time. But I do like Dark Fate way more than Genesis. Salvation will always be my favorite Terminator movie outside the first 2. Oh, so you did like the second one. Okay. I thought you didn't like the second one. I thought that's what you were alluding to. I thought that's what you were alluding to. Great conversations today. Great conversations. I'm going to go back over to the movie recap and just look up something. We're going to pull up 19, 20. Is 18 selected? 18 selected. Okay. By the way, happy anniversary to the world ending. This week was when the lockdown started. 6 years ago. Crazy. All right. Let's go to order real quick. It sounds like my wife got hit with Joker gas out there. Okay, so 2016, I remember a Facebook post I did, and it was very similar to like recent ones where I was like, what year is it? Like, this is going to be a killer year. Because I remember when we were going into Batman vs. Superman, Civil War, Deadpool, Apocalypse, Suicide Squad, Rogue One. I remember like being hyped. I was like, 2016 is the fucking year. And then some of them, didn't perform very well. But yeah, these are a ton of sequels and reboots. A ton. And who would have guessed Rogue One doing as well as it did? Not necessarily box office wise, although it's pretty actually, I stand corrected. Profited 658, pulled in 1 billion. All right, stand corrected. Rogue One performed very well. 2017, Logan, John Wick 2, Alien Covenant. I remember I wanted to see it, but I wasn't that into Alien at the time. Not to the extent that I would want to see a sequel. I was still into Predator and would see a Predator sequel at that point, but not Alien. And then Wonder Woman killed it. Then we got Spider-Man Homecoming. I skipped War of the Planet of the Apes, which ended up being a great movie. Blade Runner, Justice League, Thor. Super pumped for Last Jedi. Failed. 2018. Black Panther, which I always admit, I was wrong. I did not like Black Panther when I saw it the first time. Black Panther, Solo bombed. That was affected by Last Jedi for sure. So we have Black Panther, Deadpool 2, Solo, Infinity War, Ant-Man, Wasp, whatever. We got Mission Impossible that year, The Predator, Venom, Creed 2, Spider-Verse, Dragon Ball Z Broly, let's go. Aquaman, Bumblebee. Pretty solid releases in 2018. 2019. Captain Marvel. Endgame, I have it marked in orange because I felt like that was the apex of the MCU at that time. I think we could also agree that it has not reached that level since. John Wick 3, unnecessary. Aladdin, a lot of controversy. Dark Phoenix was terrible. Far From Home, good. Hobbs and Shaw, controversial. Joker, good. Rise of Skywalker, controversial. Bad Boys for Life, controversial, but apparently was good. New Mutants, bombed. Wonder Woman 84, bombed. Now we're in 2020. Man, that was a roller coaster of a couple years, man. 2016 on. And I keep forgetting to count in the Mary Sue conversation. Ghostbusters Answer the Call. That was 2016 as well. Yeah, so people were feeling some kind of way in 2016 and leaving 2016. And in Last Jedi, like I said, I feel like that really really ruined things. Yeah, look at this. All these are like sequels. Deadpool technically is original, right? Unless we're gonna count the Wolverine Origins. Civil War is a sequel. Out of the Shadows. Oh, TMNT Out of the Shadows. Forgot about that. It's like a remake, but also a sequel in a way. Let me give Suicide Squad original. Doctor Strange character spin-off. Wait, was Doctor Strange in anything prior to that movie? No. But it's still MCU. Cool. All right, I'll fill this out later on. But fun episode. Great job, guys. Great job. Wow, 6 years. Time flies, man. What did better, Doomsday or Deadpool and Wolverine? Let's go back to the sheet. Let's go with Marvel. All right, so you said Deadpool. Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine. What year is that? I don't even remember. I'm just going to select everything. Why not? Why not? Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine opened. It ended up getting 1.3 billion, and Doomsday. I think Doomsday's going to kill it because Endgame did 2.7. Now, don't get me wrong, MCU's been on a slide. And then there's a new revitalized love for the Fox universe because of Deadpool and Wolverine. 2.7 on Endgame. 1.3 on Deadpool and Wolverine. No Way Home to 1.9. It's going to be Deadpool Wolverine. When it's all said and done, Doomsday, unless it sucks. If Doomsday sucks and people spread that word that it sucks, I think it's still going to beat. It still might beat 500 million. We still might hit a 500 mil on a shitty Doomsday. Because even Brave New World hit 415 at the bottom of the list here. So even if it sucks, Venom Last Dance 476. So even if Doomsday sucks, it's going to hit 500. But I don't know if it sucks. It's not going to be Deadpool Wolverine. But if it's even decent, it'll be Deadpool Wolverine. Budget on that movie is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah. Bro has a show tracking spreadsheet. I do. Last thing. The reason the spreadsheet exists is not Ultra Carter specifically, but people questioning things and saying like, "Oh, this bombed or this did not bomb," or people making all sorts of comments about like, "Oh, Disney's losing money on this." Like all those comments led to me being like, all right, well, let's look at box office recaps to see if that's true. And then I wanted to easily look up like, oh, how did this match against that? How do certain celebrities do? Like I started tracking, I haven't followed up with it as much, but I started with The Rock, right? We had a conversation one time where people said The Rock kills movies, right? Kills franchises. Because our perception is that The Rock does. Every time The Rock comes out with a movie, we're like, that movie sucks. Who's going to go see that movie? So I was like, all right, let me look up all The Rock movies, add them to the sheet, put their budgets there, put what they made, and let's see if The Rock actually truly sucks and kills franchises. And it turns out he doesn't. You know, could the movies do better without him? Maybe. Does he surround himself with people who are lower tiered actors than he is to keep the budget down? Yes. And the only ones that are good are the ones that have actually other well-known good actors in it. But those kinds of questions are what made me start tracking stuff so I can easily be like, all right, let's look and see if it's actually good or not. Let's see if those rumors are true. Prayers to Bruce Campbell. Yep. Mario beats Doom. Have a great weekend. Watch an old movie. Yep. And then Tony's off to watch Gen X-Wing. So make sure you guys check out Gen X-Wing or check out Marvelous Wrestling Collectibles. Depends on the vibe you're going for. Ghostbusters or wrestling. Two great options after the show. Great episode. Great episode. You guys killed it. You guys killed it today. HeyArcher Live every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. here on a nerd-affiliated Daily Planets as often as I can. Also, shout out. He has not left my desk since last week. And for as much shit as I talked on this figure in the review and whatnot, even now he won't stand. But god damn, do I love looking at this figure. And it's been on my desk ever since. So shout out to Mondo on this one. I still maintain it's not worth full price. Do what you will with that information. Power Sword video drops on Saturday, so look out for that. 2 different versions of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. Gotta switch hands here. Here's the button. I'm out of here.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.